Welcome back, YouTube pipe smokers, to the Spurgeon Piper. This is Wilson with you. So today I want to cover how do you pack a pipe with pipe tobacco. There are a lot of channels that have covered this, and there are a lot of different methods that have been gone over, but I still get a lot of questions on videos and through email on folks having issues packing their pipes, or they come up with problems when they light it and just doesn't seem to work. So I thought I'll cover this on my channel. I haven't yet, and it seems to be enough of an issue as when we get into pipe smoking, it can be problematic and it has great effects. So over the next month or so, I want to be covering the various type of cuts, from flakes to ribbon cuts today, and so on, and give you an idea of what I do. Now, let me stress what I do. There are various ways to pack your pipe. Just a couple of weeks ago when I was at the Texas Pipe Show, I was sitting around with a group of friends, and you know what I saw? We kind of did the same thing, but we really didn't. So we all have these different methods of packing our pipes, and they overall work, but there's a little bit of differences there. So bear that in mind. You might see a lot of similarities. You will see a lot of similarities with what I do compared to others. There might be some slight differences, and they work. So you go with what works for you. That's what really matters, and what works best for your pipe. That really matters as well. So I want to get you a different angle on what I'm doing, and we'll jump into how you do it. But before you do, I'm going to be using my Peterson B10 as the pipe to pack, and then I'm going to be using this type of ribbon cuts. It's a little bit more harsher, but it does the job of this Ken Byron's Festivus. By the way, if you sent this to me, let me know, because I didn't write a name on it. I got it about a year ago. This is fantastic stuff. This is a great Christmas blend. I wish I could get my hands on it. I don't think they're making it at the moment, but this is a Virginia Cavendish Perique with some spice added in, and it's been fabulous. So this is what we're going to use. I'm going to adjust my camera. That way you get a better image. All right, so here we have our tobacco. You may want to use some type of valet or sheet, or something where you can easily pick up and put down your tobacco, or pick it up after you're done filling your pipe. I usually just use my desk, by the way. It does the job. It's clean wood and polished board, so it's easy to clean up the mess. So here we are. I just have a pile here. You can pull it out of your, if you have a tin like this, just pull it out of the tin or your mason jar. It's all good. Now, so you have a bunch, and all you simply start off doing is you want to sprinkle it in like a snowfall or what have you, and kind of tap on your pipe. Just get it where it falls to the bottom. Shake it up a bit. So obviously it's not full. So we want to do that yet again. And I'll tap on it a bit like that. So that's about as much as I get after tapping on it. Just gravity filling the pipe. I haven't tamped on it. I haven't shoved it down or anything yet. But we can still fit more in there, and we want to get a tighter fit. So this is where I bring in a tamper, or maybe for the beginning, if you are beginning in this, you may want to use your finger. All right, so I'll press it down. Now you may have a good question. How much do you press it down? Well, I have this marshmallow here. All right, so I'm going to put this marshmallow right here where you can see it. What I usually do, and you get better at this with practice, of course, is I press it down the amount of pressure it takes to squeeze a marshmallow down to itself. You know what I mean? So make it flat. And that's about as much as I do on the first tamping. So I filled it all the way. Then I tamped it down with like a marshmallow strength of pressure. So it gets about halfway, maybe a little more halfway filling the bowl. This is where we go and fill it up another time with the gravity fed method. You might want to tamp on it just a little bit, or tap on it. So there we have it to the top. Now I'm going to take my tamper, or again, you can use your finger to get a better fill. And I want to do it a little bit harder than that first time. All right, so I know that sounds kind of subjective. What do you mean by a little harder? Just a little bit more pressure than you used the last time. Some call this baby bear, mama bear, papa bear method. That's one way to describe it. So that's what I'm going to do. A little bit harder than I did last time. And now it's about, let's just say 2/3, nearly 3/4 of the way. Probably about 3/4 of the way there. So it's nice flat surface. We can still fit more, can't we? So that's what we're going to do. So usually it takes 3 times. And I'll fit as much as I can there. Tap it on a little bit. Of course, it's over full. So this is where we're going to finally tamp it down a little bit harder than we did just this first time. So, baby bear first time, marshmallow level. Then the mama bear, if we want to go with that, it was just a bit harder than that first time or the second time. And then finally, the third time is going to be harder than the second time. And that's when we give it a bit more firm, pressing down. So not too hard. The idea is you still want oxygen to go through your pipe. You need oxygen, of course, for fire. That's what we're doing. So this is going to give enough pressure where the leaf, the blend, they are able to burn and continue burning through the pipe as you're sucking in oxygen or air. But it's going to keep it close enough together to get that perfect balance where there's enough oxygen, but it's going to burn continuously through the leaf and not have any empty spots where it just burns out. So that's the idea. You want to have that continued burning effect throughout your pipe as you're smoking it. So there you are. That's packed. Now get on one more step. When I light it, it's going to flare up, and I can show you that real quick. This is getting more into how you light a pipe, but we're going to go ahead and cover it. So usually that's called your initial light. This is not going to be the final light you do. So as you can see, as you light your pipe, and if you ever watched grass or leaves burn, they kind of like flare up and frizzle. Well, that's what's happening here. It needs a haircut, if you will. So we're going to lightly tamp it down. Tamp that ash down. And there we are. Guys, that should get you started out. That's a pretty basic way to pack your pipe. Once again, fill it up, gravity feed all the way to the top. Mash it down to the marshmallow size level, if you will, or pressure, I should say. Fill it a second time. Press it down a little bit harder than that first time. Fill it one more time to the top and press it down a bit harder. It should get you pretty high up here. Light it. I have this cheapo lighter at the moment, so light it. And then give it that first initial light and then tap down slightly, barely with the pressure of this tamper, a tamper. Just lightly press down the ash. That's it, guys. That should be pretty basic. Practice, and practice it. Eventually, it will become something you don't even think about doing. I hope that helps. If you have questions, leave them below. And be on the lookout for more videos on packing your flake tobacco or your crumble cake or etc. Other ones that are coming out in the future. And hopefully they will be helpful for you. That's all I have, guys. I hope you take care, and we will talk to you very soon.